and I can never be Nigerian. I am never a Nigerian, and I shall never be Nigerian. So take your fucking Nigeria and give me Biafra. Take your soup kingdom, give me your Duduwa. Take your British company, give me Biafra. Fight for your freedom, kingdom. Africans wake up, rise up. Fight for your freedom, kingdom. They don't expect foreigners to fight for you. Soldiers are brothers, let's come together. Family, pick up, we one for. Fight for our freedom. Never, never, no, no, no. Never be Nigerian. No, 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 from beginning. Never be Nigerian. Nothing like Nigeria. Shall never be Nigerian. Nothing like Nigeria. So take your fucking Nigeria, give them Biafra. Take your soup country, give them Oduduwa. Take animal kingdom, give them Biafra. Criminals, witches are criminals. You Africa, you down Africa, in Africa, in Africa, looting Africa, looting. Witches are criminals, witches are criminals. Witches are murderers, murderers. You have to fight, fight, fight for my God. To fight, I will fight and we have to fight for freedom. We have to fight. You have to fight. You have to fight. I have to fight. No, 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 no. We have to fight for freedom. We must fight away to fight, fight away. With this murderers. Yes, sir. Biafra, Cross River, Delta, Edo, River, Benue, Abia, Adam. A freedom fighter, chapless and a freedom fighter. Freedom, somebody. I am never a Nigerian, and I can never be Nigerian. I am never a Nigerian, and I shall never be Nigerian. So take your fucking Nigeria and give me Biafra. Take your soup kingdom, give me your Duduwa. Take your British company, give me Biafra. Take your soup country, give fight for your freedom, kingdom. They don't expect foreigners to fight for you. Soldiers are brothers, let's come together. As a family, speak up, we want for. Fight for our freedom. Fight for Biafra. The freedom Biafra, the freedom Africa. Africa, wake up, rise up, fight for your freedom. You will never in Nigeria, never, never, no, 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 never be Nigerian, no, 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 from beginning. You will never in Nigeria, nothing like Nigeria. You shall never be Nigerian, nothing like Nigeria. So take your fucking Nigeria, give them Biafra. Biafra, Cross River, Delta, Edo, Rivers, Benue, Abia, Anambra, Ebonyi, Enugu, Imo, we are all Biafra, shout out to our tribe, we love us for freedom, to every freedom fighter, special respect, you know, I feel the one white, legendary, massive movement. It's that security network. It's our West. Boy. It's Kennedy.
Welcome. Thank you for joining wherever you are joining from. I appreciate you. And I wish you a Merry Christmas. Even though we are not celebrating, we still have to wish Merry Christmas to everybody, to the people across the world, the Christians and those who are doing one thing or the other. We still wish them a Merry Christmas. But those of us who are Biafrans, we are not in the mood of celebration, because there is nothing to celebrate to us. There's nothing to celebrate. We are going to fight for our independence and make sure that we get our independence. It doesn't matter what it costs. We continue to fight until when we get our freedom. It is only then and then we can be able to be talking about anything that has to do with celebration. But as for now, we don't have anything to do. So there is nothing whatsoever for us to celebrate. There is nothing on board for us to celebrate. There's nothing. There's nothing whatsoever to celebrate. All we are talking about today is our freedom, and our freedom we must get. No matter the attack they bring against us, no matter how they try to stop us and hinder us from sending the information across, we will continue to do so until Biafra comes. That is why I always come around. Even today, that is supposed to be a day that people take rest and people have rest and all that. I still have to come out to talk to my Biafran people, and I will continue to do so. And even when the network is not friendly with us, the social media is not friendly with us anymore, they are trying to hinder us from broadcasting. They hinder us from reaching out to people. So as you join, please kindly share the broadcast. Share the broadcast to anybody you can reach. Share it in any WhatsApp group if you don't, any place if you don't share it before we continue and we proceed. Welcome. Share and like as you join. Share the broadcast and like the broadcast as you join. Share and like it so that we can be able to reach out people, and then we can be able to kick off the broadcast. Like and share any place you belong, any WhatsApp group you find yourself, like and share. We must continue to send out this message no matter how they try to stop us. The world must hear our voice.
We are Biafrans, nothing more, nothing less. You are welcome to land of rising sun. There is a land that is full of natural resources. Britain divided us during colonization. No, we are generous and industrious. Naturally, educationally, we are loaded. Mentally, we can check around the world. Mbano gakelele, mama and papa can go see different feelings. Because gakelele, anywhere you from, around the world. Mbano gakelele, come and see who we are. Because gakelele, ndemboa, demo gakelele. You are welcome, mama, welcome to Biafra, mama, it's about no you mama, Emma Benessi, you are welcome, anywhere you from, around the world, come and see who we are. You are welcome. Welcome to Biafra. Biafra, everybody sing, you are welcome.
Sylvester Orumanse, thank you for joining.
We are Biafrans, we believe in quality education, we can be partners. If you're ready for innovation, Macanina, Gigafuna is talented to be better.
Of what you promised not to come to pass, that heaven and earth will cease to exist. You opened your mouth, to bless mankind to the coming of Yahweh Yeshua, who came here and said, let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Those words can never be in vain because they are anchored upon your holiness and your magnificence. That is why in the end we know that Biafra will come, that these children that we have given birth to all over the world, and their children, and their children, and their children, as long as they give birth to them and they are Biafrans, they will worship you in truth and honesty. Through this very work we are doing, mankind will come to understand you. Let your miracle be wrought in our lives. Let us witness and behold your magnificence, your holiness, your mystery, and your grace under our command. O Lord of hosts, we call upon you. We call upon you to heal. We call upon you to provide succor to those of them who are inconsolable. We ask you to come and strengthen those who are weak. We ask you to restore hope where there is hopelessness. We ask you for inclusion where there is destitution. We ask you for one brotherhood, one camaraderie, one bone, one blood, and one flesh of your children. The Efiks and the BPOs, the Izon, the Shekiri, the Isobos, and also those of them from Isobo. We are traveling all the way to the lands of Igala. We are moving on from there to Idoma, to Igede, to the territories of the Igbo land. All these places we dedicate unto thee. All these lands of yours, we ask you to cover it with your mercy. Because Biafra will come, and when it does, we will dance on the streets. I'm telling you, by the time that we are done, humanity will think that we are mad, we are drunk in your glory, and rightfully so, because your kingdom will come to rest upon this very earth. That very kingdom is the unadulterated, non-negotiable sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra, that your will may be fulfilled in our time. All this we pray, all these we ask for, in no other name apart from that name that belongs to you. He said,
Welcome. Thank you for joining me on this very broadcast. I appreciate everybody who has connected to this very broadcast wherever you are joining from. I say, may Chukwu Okukabiam continue to guide you, protect you, and secure you. We have come back once again to continue what we know how to do best, continue to push on the assignment that we have taken upon to propagate the gospel of Biafra, to make sure that the message of Biafra never died down. We have continued to do the same thing, and that is why I'm here today, to continue to encourage you, to continue to inspire you, to continue to tell you that Biafra is possible. It doesn't matter the propaganda you hear from any angle, from any corner, whatever thing they are saying against Biafra, don't get distracted. Do not get distracted. We have crossed the Rubicon. We have reached the land of no return, and no man born of a woman is going to stop the coming of Biafra. Biafra is a reality that they cannot run away from, a reality that is staring them at their faces, and they have no choice than to follow, respect, obey, and join the struggle. Today is supposed to be a day that people are celebrating the Christmas. I am a Christian also. I went to church and come back, but it's not in a celebration mood. We, the Biafran people, we are not in a celebration mood. The Biafran people, we are still standing and mourning the situation that we are in the zoo. We are in a very difficult situation, a situation where we don't have time to begin to talk about irrelevant issues. We do not have time for relevant issues. We are in a time of war. Biafran land is under siege, and we cannot leave our houses under siege and begin to celebrate. No. The only thing we have to focus on today is the independent state of Biafra. How are we going to achieve it? And I thank Chukwu Okukabiama that we are lucky that Chukwu Okukabiama gave us a man in Mazin Nnamdi Kanu who has laid a strong foundation on how Biafra will be achieved, even after he is kidnapped. His disciple, Mazi Simon Ekpa, is building on that foundation on a daily basis, which have led us to the countdown to Biafra. In a few days' time, we are going to find ourselves in Biafra. It doesn't matter whether you believe it or you don't believe it. This time is not the time to beg you or preach to you to believe. No. It is your own side. It's left for you to believe it or not believe it. If after everything that happens recently, if after all the expositions that happened, that Chukwu Okukabiama have used my Simon to make, and the confessions you are hearing online, if after all this you are not yet convinced about the coming of Biafra and the spirit of Biafra and those who are standing on the truth, if you are not yet convinced, well, we can't help you. And I have nothing more to prove to you. I don't have anything to prove to you. If you cannot be able to get your brains reset with the things that happened since Mazin Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped up to yesterday and even now, if you can't be able to get it, I can't help you. You need your brain to be checked. You need your brain to be checked. My concern is our genuine Biafran agitators in Biafra land. Those who are genuinely seeking for their freedom. We have our brothers and sisters and our families in Biafra land who are doing the needful, who are facing the bullet on a daily basis. Against all odds, they are still standing their ground and making sure that their voice is heard. These are the people I'm very much concerned about, and I pray for them every day that Chukwu Okukabiama will continue to guide and protect them and secure them. No weapon of the enemy should touch them. These people are very close to our hearts. They are so precious to us that we don't joke with them. And they are the reason why we come online every day to inspire other Biafrans to stand firm. Stand firm. Don't get distracted. No matter the propaganda you see, the attack you see, don't get, just like the attack we get on social media. When we come to broadcast, you can imagine that making a broadcast, you will see only 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. You can't even help to 50 people on a broadcast. It is not ordinary. It's an attack. It's an attack on all social media platforms. Once you are preaching the case of Biafra, they will try to oppress you, suppress you, and hold down your viewers and make sure that your viewers don't get the notification. That is why each time we come online, we ask you to share and let people get the notification. Share, notify people, tell them about the movie, just share to them. Once you share to them, you are inviting them and they're going to come. So, we will continue to send out the information. We are still on the radical evangelism of Biafra. In that radical evangelism, if you know anything you can do to make Biafra come, don't hesitate to do it. Yesterday was our fundraising. ESN fundraising was done yesterday, and many people turned up, and they did marvelously well. If you're one of those who turned up on that very ESN fundraising, I appreciate you, and may Chukwu continue to guide you, prosper you, and increase your bond. Increase your bond. Whatever you lay your hand shall prosper. And if you have not yet contributed, please go and contribute to the ESN. It is very necessary. We are in a very critical time. This is the time they need your support most. If you have not contributed, go to that website and make your contribution. Give to the ESN. You are giving to yourself. You are sowing into your future. You are sowing into the future of your children. And that is the right place to sow. The right place to sow your seed is in the life of is in the ESN. These are volunteers. They have come to protect you without payment. All they need is tools. Why won't you do your best to give them that tools? You're welcome, Collins. Why won't you do your best to support them so they can get that tools? That is the only way we are. They're asking for the tools. And we are the one that's going to sponsor them on that area. And that is why Biafrans are coming out to make their donations. So if you have not made your donation, please go to the website and put your widow's mite. It will go a long way to save life. It's a question of life and death. And as you know that Biafra time is approaching, as we are approaching 2023, the redeclaration of Biafra is going to happen. When the Biafra is redeclared, we are going to defend it. Remember the word of Mazen Nanikana. Mazen Nanikana said that any day we would declare Biafra, that we will defend our land, the airspace and everywhere, and the sea. We are going to defend it, and no man, born of a woman, will cross anywhere. It's going to happen very, very soon. That is what you're supposed to be concerned about, and prepare yourself. Get yourself prepared. Because this time that is coming, it is unavoidable. Unavoidable. It's going to come. Unavoidable is going to come. And when it comes, a lot of things are going to change. Today you must rise up. You must wake up from your sleep. Wake up from your slumber. And sow your seed in the right place. Prepare yourself for what is about to happen. It doesn't matter the attack you see. It doesn't matter the propaganda you see. It doesn't matter the blah. You must be strong and firm. You must be strong and firm. A lot of things is going to happen in the future. And while those things are going to happen, you are only going to survive it if you pay attention. If you're one of those that pay attention to instructions, you follow instructions, you'll be safe. You're going to be safe. But if you're one of those who is listening to the wrong people, today you have seen the wrong people, they can't hide anymore. The wrong people, you go to their platform today, they are busy debunking and defending themselves in an issue that is as white as snow. After their killer, the commander of their killer squad have been captured and he began to confess, go to their platform today, they are putting defense on him. Defending what? What are you going to defend? That he was not the commander of the dead man squad? That he didn't kill when he has confessed of it? And these people, Master Samuel spoke about them before then, that they are trained at the back of the police station. All of a sudden, everything have come to the air for confirmation, and you are now debunking. What are you debunking? Is it Master Samuel ever that invited the police? And now, who is now working with the police? Is it you that's working with the police, or Master Samuel ever? It is not working with you. Because it is because you're working with the police, that is why you have your camp, the camp of your boys at the back of the station. If you are not working with the police, the camp of your group will not be at the back of the police station, and they will leave you. It's not possible. It is impossible for you to have a terrorist group at the back of police station. their so-called terrorist group. It doesn't happen, except they are colluding. And that is exactly what happened. Because they felt that they are no more irrelevant. They have seen it that the Biafran people do not care about those idiots. Biafran people don't give a damn about them. They are just there on their own, fooling themselves. Who cares? Biafran people have realized this. That's why we call the sit at home of 5 days, and Biafrans listened and they were there. And when they saw it all hell break loose, they began all the amount of evils, propaganda, lies, and begin to push it around. But I tell you this time around, it's not going to stand. Your propaganda, your blackmail cannot stand. It can't fly. We have outgrown that area. Now we are in the process of restoring Biafra land. And Biafra will be restored. Biafra land will be restored. Come sun, come shine, come rain, whatever. It is going to be restored. And no man born of a woman can stop it. If you think you are the one that's going to stop it, think again. You cannot stop the coming of Biafra. Biafra is going to come like a hurricane, and you can't stop it. It's going to come with the speed of lightning. Master Nanakana said it. And you see what is going to happen. That's what is going to happen. You're welcome, Jerry. It is going to happen. It doesn't matter whether you believe or not. It doesn't matter whether you even support or not. Chukwu Kama will raise people that is going to make sure that our victory is being achieved. The last miracle on the planet Earth is about to happen. Are you there? Are you keen in? Are you part of it? That is the question you should be concerned yourself about. You ask yourself, as this last miracle on the planet Earth is going to happen, am I going to be part of it? What is my role in it? Will I be remembered for it? Until when you answer such questions earnestly, genuinely, truthfully in your heart, you can never get it right. You can't get it right. But I tell you, at the time that we are now, it is no longer a time for us to begin to look at irrelevant issues. It is time for us to be focused on one thing and one thing alone. Biafra is fast approaching, very, very fast approaching. We want to go to that nation where we are going to celebrate ourselves, where we're going to defend our country and say, yes, this is my country. You hit your chest and say, yes, this is my country. And we will all be patriotic to it and will defend it by all means possible. That is the country we're looking forward to. Not like the zoo. The zoo is owned by nobody. The zoo is owned, nobody owns the zoo. People are working, doing things the way they like. Who cares? Some want to impose themselves on others. Some want to use others to get posts. Some want to place themselves on different kinds of atrocities. And they think they can get away with it. You can't get away with it. We are talking about a legitimate right of the Biafran people. In that legitimate right, we are going to go home with it. We're going to go to Biafran land with it. No amount of your blackmail, listen again, listen good. No amount of blackmail can stop Biafran people. We are good to go. In this radical evangelism, if you are in Biafra land, I won again and I won and I won and I won. That's one thing with people, they won't listen. All these dying minute people, they won't listen. Prepare yourself for what is coming ahead. I am not telling you this to frighten you, neither am I telling you for you to be happy. A lot is going to happen as we are moving into Biafra. A lot is going to happen. And if you are not careful, if you are not paying attention, you might lose your life in the course. Our major duty is to defend Biafra land, to make sure that everybody is safe. It is not to keep Biafran people. The main reason why you see us shout online every day is for us to save lives. And you're going to help us in that by listening and pass the information, listen and follow it up. In this era that we're in, nobody can stop us. It doesn't matter. If you decide to be careless with your life, we will continue to fight for Biafra. Nobody cares. If you continue to sheepishly be careless with your life, they're going to take you out and Biafra will continue. Biafra, no man born of a woman can stop it. It will continue until Biafra is actualized in 2023, and only then, you begin to think of maybe visit other places or whatever you want to do, you do it. But as it stands now, the defense of Biafra land is a must. We will defend it with the last drop of our blood. That's what we are going to do. That we are already doing. So in this radical evangelism of Biafra, we will continue to do it, say it the way it is, speak to people, do it the way it is. All these departments of saboteur that are being sacked, who are shamelessly today trying to defend their evil, shamelessly defending their evil, which they cannot. It's indefensible. It's indefensible when that man, that clown, opened his mouth and told the world exactly what's transpired and who is sponsoring them. It has become very clear. We are still talking about that, and our spokesperson, someone released the video of the one that called himself a more powerful. Okafa de Bumanketa. That is what the Igbo tradition parable. He said, Okafa de Bumanketa. Okafa on the Bumanketa. That was why you saw that one they call a more powerful. Big name, when you hear more powerful, you think it's one kind of, one responsible person. All of a sudden, we saw the picture of a more powerful where he is in one food shop and picking plugs and wires. And when we saw that, it became clear that all this while, people who has surrounded Mazin Nakan are very unserious people. And that is why they are very easy to be bought. Very easy to be bought. You are there in Ghana doing some, I'm not mocking people who are in Ghana, and I'm mocking people who are doing the same line of business. But there are certain things you need to do. These people they are so evil that they can't do things right. They can't do things right. And when your heart is not clean, you're one of those who your heart is not clean, you cannot do things right. Even if you started well, along the line, you must fall outside. You must fall outside. That was why Judas fell. Judas fell. Judas was the one that betrayed Christ because of his love for money. Because of his love for money. His intention was not to betray Christ to be killed. The intention of Judas was not to betray Christ to be killed. But because of his envy, because of his greed and love for money, that was why he fell victim and he became the one that sold Christ. And when he realized that there is no return, he went and committed suicide. He committed suicide. He didn't even have the opportunity for repentance. That is what I tell some of these idiots today that are going on their platform to talk against my Simon. Some of these idiots on their platform that are fighting against Biafra indirectly, they are fighting against Simon, are fighting against the autopolitical IPOB. The people that are genuinely fighting for the struggle to make sure that Mazin Nakan is being released, to make sure that Biafra comes, they are fighting them on their various platforms. A time will come when you will not have opportunity for repentance. What happened to Judas will happen to you. Because it is because of your love for money and fame. That is why you can't see the truth. You are consumed with your love for money and fame. That is why you cannot see the truth. That is why when you see the truth, you don't know it. That is why you expect us to beg you before you can be able to follow that which is right. And just as Judas, when Satan saw that Judas had love for money, he went to him and gave him that offer and he took it. That is why at an extent, Mazin Nakan say, if you want to be a freedom fighter, you must be okay by yourself. It wasn't to talk down on anybody. It wasn't to talk down on people who are not okay. It wasn't to talk, but you must have to know what you want. That's what it is. That man I saw there on that video doesn't look like a serious person. He doesn't look like somebody who is serious. In IPOB, where you have doctors and professors, I'll be wondering, is it this man that is giving every order, countering every order? Every order that Master Samanepa is given, he will counter it. And you see where he stayed to counter it. In that kind of environment, will your brain be settled? In that kind of environment where you find that man, can he be able to think properly? In that area, in that condition you saw that man, does he look like somebody who can think properly? That is why it is very easy for them to be bought. Once you give them some millions of naira, they are, this kind of, even $1,000 can buy them. And they begin to talk in a different tone. That is why they are very, very inconsistent. And you see them, they will be the first of all, they call your name. You saw when they were attacking Mazi Simon Ekpa, their propaganda, their first and major propaganda was the Mazi Simon Ekpa is nobody. He is nobody. Mazi Simon Ekpa is nobody. He is a nobody. Why are you listening to that nobody? Why are you doing, why? All of a sudden, if you begin to dig out every of their profile, you find that these people are the ones, everything they are telling Mazi Simon Ekpa is what they are. Today with Mazi Simon Ekpa, at least we know him. We see his picture every day. We know him. We know his phone call. We know his address. He has an address. He has a job. He's working. He has a family. He's a citizen of Finland and a politician over there, not a hidden one, an open one. So many times we have seen him where he was in the parliament, where he was talking to them, and yet these people they begin to denigrate him. Meanwhile, the person they have as their spokesperson or whatever they call, how can that man be speaking for Biafra people? You say Biafra spokesperson is more powerful. And when you hear the big name, you think you are talking about someone. When you hear a more powerful, you think it's somebody somewhere, one responsible man somewhere. You don't know that there's a confused person in a shop selling plug and picking wires. Which time will he have to concentrate to even write a good statement about Biafra? Do you even know what is happening in Biafra struggle? What time will he have? He has been hiding until a spokesman unmask him. The same way every one of them will be unmasked. These ones that are parading and shouting and calling Master, go and investigate and look at them deeply. You see that every one of them are very incomplete. Every one of them have one deformation or the other. Very irresponsible and irregular people. People that not be able to put up statement together. They can't put up a statement together just because the Biafran struggle was made open by Mazen Nandekano. You begin to see them begin to claim relevance. They open their mouth and talk against somebody who has built a career for himself. Somebody has built a career for himself who is putting his career on the line for the Biafra. These people don't have anything to lose. What are they putting on the line? Is it their useless life? They have nothing to lose. And that is why each time you see them, when they see an educated person among them, they get threatened. And that is what they have introduced. When they see an educated person in their midst, they get threatened. They begin to blackmail you, begin to form all manner of lies against you. They feel so threatened. Each time they see an educated person in their midst, they feel threatened. That is why they have used propaganda to hinder those who are supposed to give meaningful contribution in the struggle. People that have come to make meaningful contribution in the struggle, they use their propaganda and blackmail out of jealousy and fear of unknown. They push them away until someone came on board. Until someone came on board, all hell broke loose. Now, when you see all these people and their attitude and their character, you begin to wonder. Now you see what Mazen Nandekano has been suffering all this while when he prays and he cries. Now you begin to know why Mazen Nandekano was crying for 100 men. Look at them. Look at somebody who call himself spokesperson of Biafra. Spokesperson of Biafra, Imam Powerless. You see him. This is why Mazen Nandekano was crying that I need. He asked me, yeah, is the only women? Are there no men anymore? Are there no men anymore? Are there no men anymore? Is it because of these people who surrounded him? Because Mazen Nandekano, people were running away. It was only the people who brought themselves close. The few people that came close were the people he was using. The few people that decided to come closer are the people that he used to propagate the gospel and be able to send that information, to create awareness. They did their own job when they had to. Chukwu Okakabema used them. I wouldn't tell you that he didn't use them. Chukwu Okakabema used everybody, including this department of Sabotua today that have been sacked. Chukwu Okakabema used them to preach the gospel of Biafra. But when their time is done and expired, they have to give way. In the same way, that's why I tell people that Chukwu Okakabema, if you Biafran people refuse to do something to release Mazen Nandekano to get Biafra, Chukwu Okakabema can even use a janjaweed. He will use a janjaweed to release Mazen Nandekano. He will use a janjaweed to get us Biafra. If you refuse. That is why Mazen Nandekano preached and he said that Biafra will come in such a way that nobody is going to take the glory. Only Chukwu Okakabema will take the glory. That word is deep. That was it. Only Chukwu Okakabema will take glory for the coming of Biafra. No man born of a woman can take glory for the coming of Biafra. And it's going to happen. It is going to happen. You see why you must have to pay attention to everything you hear. And you have to thank Chukwu Okakabema for what is happening today. The kind of revelations that is happening today, the kind of exposition that Chukwu Okakabema himself is doing today, you need to thank Chukwu Okakabema. You need to thank Chukwu Okakabema. When you see the things that happen today, you need to thank Chukwu Okakabema because he's making a great revelations. He is fighting our battle for us. While they were busy calling us terrorists, names, writing petition and all that. In the midst of that, their propaganda, Chukwu Okakabema, boom, gave the world the real news. The people who are responsible for the killings in Biafra land, they were exposed. They mentioned their name and they called their partners abroad, their sponsors abroad. They called their names. But all this while, they say, Master Samanaka this, Master Samanaka did that, Master Samanaka did. False accusations. These same people will send out troops outside to go and take innocent life. At the end, they will come back and begin to blame Master Samanaka. They will send people to go and take innocent life and they will turn back and begin to blame an innocent man who is fighting to secure them and their future. If you don't have anything to offer, why don't you step aside and allow those who have something to offer to continue? He has said this several times. It is not compulsory that everybody will fight for Biafra. It is not. It is not compulsory that everybody must fight and get us Biafra. No, there are some people who will not be there. It's not mandatory. So those of you, if you find out you are in the group of those who have nothing to offer, step aside, just quietly walk away. Don't be a stumbling block. The greatest mistake you will do is to be a stumbling block for the coming of Biafra. If you become a stumbling block, we are going to so crush you. We will crush you so much that you cannot be able to you can't reincarnate again. You can't reincarnate. It doesn't matter what anybody is saying. It doesn't matter what you say. You must pay attention to the time that we are in. Biafra is coming. Don't put yourself in harm's way. Biafra is coming. Don't make yourself a sacrificial lamb. Biafra is coming. Pay attention and do that which you have to do. Every one of us have a responsibility. There is something Chukwu Okikabiyama have assigned you, have assigned me. I have already taken up my own assignment. And to the best of my wisdom and the best of my knowledge, I'm doing what I have to do. With every little time I have to come out and talk to my people. Even if it is for 10 minutes, for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or 5 minutes, I will be there. And whichever word I speak, my own duty is to say the word. When I say it, Chukwu Okikabiyama, we water it. We make that word I said and to germinate. Chukwu Okikabiyama will use some of you who is here to share the videos. When you are sharing, you are reaching out. As you are sharing the video, you are actually playing a role in the media. You are fighting on the struggle. As you're sharing, increase your sharing, make every video go viral. That is the radical evangelism that we are in. You see our people in Biafra land, even in the face of the bullets, they are removing all the posters and placing it with no referendum poster. They bring down the politicians' banner or whatever, and they put no election with Freemason and the can. Our brothers and sisters in Biafra land are doing. They are doing this against all odds, against all attack. They are doing it marvelously well. And you here, what are you doing? If you cannot go down there to do it, why not you do it with your finance? Why don't you do it with your finance? Support the IPO, auto-piloted IPOB through ESN. Support anything you can do to make sure that we become free. Do it. It is your responsibility to do that. Chukwu Okikabiyama cannot come from heaven and hand us over this thing we are looking for. We are going to take it by force. We are going to take it, hear it and hear it clear. We will take it by force. Our freedom, we will take it by force. If you think it will be handed over to us, it will not be handed over. Nobody will hand you over anything. Nobody anywhere will hand you anything. You must have to fight for it. You must sacrifice and then wait for the result. That is how the world works. That is how it works. Whatever you need, you have to go for it. Show that you are serious. Do your own part. And the world, I believe they are waiting to see our seriousness. Even though we have cried and we send them videos, send evidences to all parts of the world, to all organizations, and yet they are silent. What else do you think they are waiting for? After all the facts on the ground that we have given them, after all the meetings, and yet they are doing nothing. What do you think? What do you think is holding them? The only thing that can happen is the coming of Biafra, nothing else. And how are you going to get the coming of Biafra? By force. By force. Hear me well. Biafra is going to come by force, by fire, by force. The kingdom of God suffereth violence, and only the violent won't take it by force. We are going to take it by force. We are going to take our freedom by force. You better key in and prepare yourself. Just key in and prepare yourself. For our freedom, we are going to take it by force. No matter what anybody says, no matter what anybody, it doesn't matter. Your suggestion or your whatever you're saying it doesn't count on us. Just as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that we have crossed the Rubicon. Yes, we have. It is forward ever and backward never. No amount of your blackmail or propaganda can make us look back. There is nothing we can do on the planet Earth to make us look back. We are moving forward. Forward ever and backward never. The time has come. Time of liberation. The time of freedom. The time to be that which we are supposed to be. That is the time that we are in. And we are going to do everything possible. Everything humanly possible. We are going to do it. Everything humanly possible. We are going to do it to make sure that Biafra is being restored. Already Biafrans are doing a great job. All you have to do today is ask yourself, what is your own contribution? Ask yourself, what is my own contribution? And answer it genuinely. If every Biafran should answer that question genuinely, we will not be begging people to come and control for ESI. And I tell you, Biafra will come in a twinkle of an eye. If we begin to ask ourselves, what is my own contribution? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Biafra will come in a twinkle of an eye. But I tell you, even though you refuse to do what you're supposed to do, Chukwu Okikabia, for the sake of his people, he's going to give us Biafra. If not for anything, for Mazen Nandekano, whose parents have been sacrificed for this very cause. Mazen Nandekano lost his two parents because of Biafra. Yes. It was during the trauma, during the Python dance, from Python dance to the trauma of the parents, and they were sick, and they lost two of them at a time. It is not easy. That sacrifice will not be in vain. Biafra will come. And some other people have made so many numerous sacrifices. What have Ikonso? Ikonso have put his life on the line. And he died fighting for Biafra. He has families, he has children, he has a wife that he left behind. And you think it's a child's play. Ikonso paid the ultimate price. So many other Biafrans have given their life for this cause. So many Biafrans are still going to give their life for this cause. Even as you're watching me, more people are being kidnapped. Things are happening. Attack is still going on. But are we going to stop? We're not going to stop because we know the value of freedom. We want to pay that price once and for all. And our unborn generation will have a same place where they will be to worship Chukwu Okikabia in truth and in spirit. Chukwu Okikabia, who gave us these assignments, will never leave us alone. He gave us the assignment and he will not leave us alone. And I tell you, the only thing you need to do is to be sincere to yourself and key in and do what you're supposed to do. For Biafra coming, it has come already. Biafra has come. There's no two ways about it. There's no argument about it. Whether you believe it or you don't believe it, it doesn't really matter. What matters today is us. Who says a thing and he stands? Only Chukwu Okikabia. He has the final say. Only Chukwu Okikabia can say a thing that we stand. And he has said it, that we should go and possess the land. We want you to take us to be truthful, sincere, and worship him on that land. We should go ahead and take the land. That is why we are marching without fear. We don't care what it is. Once you are saying, your opinion doesn't count. The only opinion that counts to us is the opinion of Chukwu Okikabia, which is go and possess the land. And we're going to possess that land very, very soon. Today, supposed to be Christmas, a day of celebration. We are not celebrating. Biafrans are not celebrating. But for those who are celebrating all over the world, I wish you a Merry Christmas. But while you are celebrating, know that there is a country that is bleeding. As you are celebrating, know that there are people who are still in the dungeon of the kidnappers. Some people are still with the kidnappers, as you're watching now. Some people have just been kidnapped, as you're watching. Some people have been shot at, as you're watching. People are losing their life because of Biafra, as you're watching now. Those are the people we should remember. Those are the people we should pay attention to. And make sure we put a stop to that incident killing in Biafra land. We have to put a stop to it. We have died enough. We have done it in 2014, up to date. And we are still dying and complaining. In this era, we can't complain anymore. We have to go for the battle. Fight for it once and for all. Get our nation and form a sense place. Just like the Jews, see them. They have Israel as their home. Even though they are scattered all over the world, but they have Israel as their home, where they will return. The same way our brothers in Israel is doing, we will do because we are Jews also, descendants. We want to have our own nation, a place where everybody will run and be saved, a place we can call a home, a place we can run, go and defend. That is what we want to build, and it must definitely come. No man born of a woman can stop it. Let them try. Let them keep trying. They will always fail. It doesn't matter how many times they try. They will definitely fail. And we are going to succeed. Today is 24th December. I'm not going to take much of your time. I have to end the broadcast. And I will join you again tomorrow by the special guest of Chukwu Okikabia. It's a continuous, radical awareness. I can't wait. I don't have a holiday on this. Anytime, any given time I have, I come out and speak to my people. Speak to my people. But I'm going to make this brief today so that people can be able to reflect on what we are saying. That there is no time for celebration. It's a time of war. And we will fight until Biafra is restored. We are going to take it by force, not by begging, not by writing letters, not by any. We are going to take it by force. And in 2023, it can never be business as usual. This will be the last Christmas we celebrate as people who are under slavery in Nigeria. In 2023, we are going to celebrate that Christmas in Biafra land as free people. Thank you so much for watching wherever you are watching from. If you are joining from Biafra land, I say, may Chukwu come and protect you. You are watching from any part of the world. May Chukwu come and protect you. You are a Biafran, you are a Duduwan, you are from the Middle Belt. May Chukwu come and protect you. Professor Kintoye, Sunday Bowo, may Chukwu come and protect both of you. Umuada, Honorable Zoka, may Chukwu come and protect you. All our media warriors from A to Z, may Chukwu come and protect them. Our spokesperson, Master Simon, may Chukwu come and protect you, secure you, give you more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to continue to run their affairs until Mazin Nane can join us. We commit our Supreme Leader Mazin Nane Kano into the hand of Almighty God. May Chukwu come and protect our Supreme Leader Mazin Nane Kano. Keep him for us. No weapon formed of action against him shall prosper. No weapon formed of action against him shall prosper. No weapon formed of action against Mazin Nane Kano shall prosper. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.